Just how well positioned is South Africa's financial services sector when it comes to ensuring the country's transformation project is realised? I'm exploring this and other issues with my guest today, Sim Shabalala, the Chief Executive, the sole Chief Executive, the sole custodian of the corner office at Standard Bank. Does this mean
there is no corner office?
Is there no corner office?
No, it's open plan.
That's most disappointing.
As we speak.
It's very investic of you to do that. I mean, that's what Stephen Kosef made very fashionable. Did you guys copy him?
Oh, Bruce, we didn't copy him. We've got open plan.
Okay, you've got open plan. When you look at your executive team, I mean, so many of the people that Jacko Marie developed alongside you and was looking at succession plans, and some guys have retired, some guys have moved on. You've got to build a team of people around you. What does that team look like?
The team currently looks like something like this. I mean, let's not talk numbers, let's talk names. So the CEO of the Personal and Business Bank is Peter Schlibusch. The CEO of Corporate and Investment Banking is Kenny Fihler, an African male. The CEO of our wealth business is Margaret Nienaber, a white female. In PBB, under Peter Schlibusch, the head of our largest business in our group is Funeka Monjane.
And that's a recent move since, of course, you moved the chief executive of Liberty disappeared, and you put Dave Munro in that particular job because he was running the CIB. I beg your pardon.
Yes. So Dave Munro went to Liberty, and he was replaced by Kenny Fihler.
Okay.
Quite right. Just to go back to PBB though, in
Personal and
Business Banking. Sorry, the head of the Africa division of Personal and Business Banking is Zweli Manyati.
So do you think you've got a sufficiently transformed executive in Standard Bank?
The conclusion you draw is inescapable. That was what I was trying to illustrate. The fact that we are transforming, but I don't think we are there yet. Until Standard Bank reflects the demographics of the countries in which it operates, it can't claim to have been transformed. But my word, what that company has done over the years is to build that capacity and that capability. And I could carry on and name a few other people who are running some very, very big businesses.
What is your vision now for Standard Bank? Because here is this bank that went big and then consolidated, and now it's got a very substantial African footprint. This Conrad Strauss, I think, was, and this goes back 25 years, probably longer, was one of the early movers of making acquisitions and broadening the base out of South Africa for Standard Bank.
So our purpose, Bruce, is to be to drive Africa's growth. That's what our purpose is, and our vision is to be a universal financial services organization. So more than a bank, because we've got insurance companies and asset managers in our group, in, for and across Africa, operating on the continent, for the African continent, and right across the continent, delivering exceptional client experiries.
5 years
and great
ago,
returns.
5 years ago when you started this, the oil price was at $100 a barrel.
Yes.
Angola and Nigeria were flying. They were the economies everybody was watching. But it turned out, unfortunately, almost like one-trick ponies. The oil price halved, and their economies, Nigeria, into a deep recession. Other economies coming to the fore, but much smaller, Ethiopia and Rwanda. It's a mixed bag of varying success stories.
Absolutely.
And really hard from a banking perspective, I would take it, to manage that as well from an expectations point of view as to who's going to be flavour of the month this time.
So 100%, Bruce. So here's the beauty of what has happened in our portfolio. When West Africa, which are the oil-rich countries, do badly, the oil importers, particularly the East Africans, do very, very well. The South Central operations continue just to on a steady state. And what we found is that our economies on the continent are actually getting less and less correlated to one another, which is fantastic. There's great diversification. And so it is complicated. It is a very, very difficult, complicated business to run and to manage, but we're getting the benefit of that diversification. At half year, 30% of our headline earnings came from our operations outside South Africa.
At home, confidence is flagging. Business confidence is down in the dumps. Some claim it's as bad as the era of P.W. Botha. I would disagree with that. We've got interest rates coming down. There is a little bit of consumer confidence returning, but generally we feel a bit sorry for ourselves as a nation. Everybody seems to be pinning their hopes of either the continuation of things are working in December or a change from the normal, and then there's a diversion of opinion as to which way our politics goes after December. How do you run a business in a political environment as charged as this?
You try and stay calm, you try and identify the natural laws that apply, and you try and stick to your knitting. Consumer confidence is low, demand is low, business confidence is low, therefore people are not investing in plant and machinery, and therefore people are not buying cars and homes.
But 2018 for South Africa is a choice, right? It's a political choice in December. Is it that simple? Can we ignite enthusiasm for South Africa, actually ignite some growth into 2018, depending on which way the politics plays out?
We could. There are a number of scenarios arising from the elections at the ruling party in December, and each of those scenarios has got consequences, because it's got policy consequences and therefore economic consequences. One thing I am confident about, maybe not overconfident, but confident.
Hope is a form of confidence.
Hopeful is that we will have more certainty, regardless of what the scenario is. We'll have certainty. We will know. There won't be contestation of what the policy trajectory is going to be. We will know what it will be. It will be high road, middle road, low road. We'll know what the consequences for business will be, and we will adjust accordingly.
You're responsible for what, 35,000 people, their incomes in South Africa, and what, another 10 or 15,000 outside of the country.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big responsibility to shoulder in an environment as tenuous as ours.
It is a huge responsibility, and that is why one has to approach this job with as much energy as is practical, but also with a dose of humility.
How long do you want to do it for?
Bruce, for as long as the board and my colleagues will tolerate me.
What's your goal? What will you regard as a significant enough achievement to say, I've put my stamp on this South African institution? It's been around for nearly 155 years.
Bruce, the ultimate test of any strategy is return on capital relative to our competitors. So when we have a premium rating at Standard Bank, I will consider that to have been success.
And can you have a premium rating in a downgraded environment?
You can, because you're operating in operations that are more than just South Africa. It's possible.
Sim Shabalala, we wish you luck.
Thank you,
Sim Shabalala, the new solo captain of the good ship Standard Bank. It is a business that is 153 years old.
54.
154. Forgive me, I lost 1 year. Group Chief Executive at Standard Bank, Sim Shabalala, joining us on this edition of Taking Stock. Till next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.